Our first news, and practically the most important news out of everything we're about to talk about, is our final prediction for the upcoming boxing event. This Saturday, May 20th, is Devin Haney versus Vasily Lomachenko for the undisputed lightweight championship of the world on Top Rank ESPN. This is going to be on pay-per-view, so this is the first ever pay-per-view event for both gentlemen, I believe. But I'm going to toss it first to you, Isaiah, to give your breakdown, your analysis on what you think is going to happen and who you have winning this fight.
Well, everybody who has been on this show for a while and Mark especially already knows who I am gunning for. I am predicting that Vasily Lomachenko is going to beat Devin Haney. If I had to guess, it would probably be via unanimous decision through all 12 rounds. Uh, Seeing as how the fight is most likely going to be a slow starter. Loma is notoriously slow. For for is notoriously known for being a slow starter. He likes to download information, timing, spacing, everything during round one, maybe to round two or three. And I'm pretty sure Devin Haney is not going to uh he's not going to disrespect Loma's ability to do so. He's also going to be on his top game. He's going to use the beginning rounds for the same reasons, and then the middle rounds is where we're really going to see whose game plan shines better. I am highly certain that both Loma and Haney have uh, their respective game plans for each other, and I'm very excited to see both of them. Seeing as how is Haney from the TMT Money team still?
Yes, he trains in that, and Floyd Mayweather Sr. Trains him and helps him out.
Yeah,
So,
I would. I mean, if the best defensive boxer of our era is on the overwing of Haney, that's not something that you should scoff over. He probably is going to capitalize on some of Loma's stylistic faults. So, for example, we saw something attuned to that in the Ortiz fight. When Loma came back, that Loma um, had a difficult time getting his combinations off when met with consistent pressure, and that's what Ortiz did during that fight. Uh he had very consistent pressure throughout most of the fight, just so that Loma couldn't get any of his combos off cleanly. And it wasn't up until maybe round 9, 10 to 11 to 12, the championship rounds, where Ortiz wasn't quite used to yet, um, that's when he started to lose gas on that, and Loma just being the more veteran fighter and having fought 12 round fights before, uh, that's when he started to turn the gas up and then start landing a lot of really nice combinations and eventually winning the fight. So it's gonna be like that, except Haney I feel is gonna be a lot harder. He's taller, he's lankier, he's really fast, he's strong, he's young, and he's IQ wise, he's up there. He has sparred very many rounds with Shakur Stevenson, so I don't put it past him that he's going to be a very, if not the hardest fight for Loma. But I just me being on the track for Loma, I know that he has a very high um, boxing IQ. His style is something that nobody has right now. He also has a very accoladed amateur record with only one official loss um, in the amateur department, and he has never really stepped off the gas in terms of fighting people who are bigger, stronger, and he wants to prove a point that he is the best in the world, and I'm there for that. That's why I know that he has a lot of disadvantages in this fight, especially like the size differential, that and the age differential, that being a big one. Um, But I still think that Loma has the correct plan to put Haney away, and that's what I'm gonna go for. That's I'm excited to see that in person. What do you think, Mike?
Hey man, I think the current line draw last I saw was 70-30 for Haney.
Buddy.
Shakur has sparred with both Haney and Loma, and he says Haney has it.
Holy crap.
In addition to that, a bunch of coaches, boxing legends, current fighters, with the exception of Teofimo Lopez, all have it for Haney winning this fight. Because Haney is big, right?
Is big, man.
When Loma saw Haney, Loma said, "He's lightweight. He looks like a heavyweight."
He looks heavyweight.
And how I see it is, Haney. How I see it is dependent on how Loma is able to absorb information. We all know he's a slow starter. The fastest I've ever seen him start was against what's his name? The guy, that Ghanaian fighter, Kome.
Homie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He immediately
sure.
got on him on the second round, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nakatani, he got on him around round 3. Teofimo, he got around him round 6. Ortiz, Loma started getting his pace and his rhythm around round 4, 5, right? For Haney to have success, he needs to confuse Loma. He needs to change up his rhythm, change up punches, level changes. Avoid Loma getting in the clinch, because Loma is tricky with it. He's very tricky in the clinch. He does a lot of tricky things, underhooks, gets his hands in certain places, and all of a sudden he pushes his opponent off and lands combos, right? Before the ref even says break. He's very tricky about that. And for Haney, he needs to be aware of these tricks coming in from Loma. And the best thing is for Haney to apply pressure. Don't back away. Once Loma gets his pressure going and his rhythm going, oh man, it's gonna be a tough night for Haney.
Dude, like Loma like throws the weirdest things. He'll throw like a 1-2-3-2-3-2-3, or like a 3-3-3 or a 1-1-2, just something just to throw you off.
Yeah. And I think Haney has to play that same game.
Yeah, he has to. Because I will put this in there because it's a good segue, is that I'm not scared of Haney's size per se, because he has fought
no, I'm not.
a taller fighter before, Masayoshi Nakatani, who was 5'11",
But
if you remember.
But let's be honest, right? Nakatani and Haney aren't the same, right?
Oh, they are not. But I'm talking about the size differential. I'm not too scared about that, because I feel like Loma already knows what to do to do someone with such a big height advantage. But it's just Haney's stylistic choice that's what makes it dangerous.
Well,
oof.
Let's put this to perspective, right? Haney is much more athletic compared to Nakatani.
Very.
Right?
Yep.
So once again, I'm also considering the fact that the last fight I saw Lomachenko, he did not look like the Lomachenko I saw in the Nakatani and Richard Kome fight.
Yeah.
Again, that might be due to the current ongoings and war in Ukraine, or it could also be attributed to Isaiah's favorite phrase, ring rust.
It could be ring rust.
Right? But the thing is, he is going to face a person who is by far an by far a very skilled individual in Devin Haney. Devin Haney has the youth. Devin Haney has the reach, the height, the size. I'm not going to say he has power, right? But he definitely has pop, right? He has enough pop to do something. But what I'm going to say is Devin Haney needs to push the pressure, as well as in the first few rounds, we know that Loma takes a while. In those rounds, Haney needs to hit Loma as hard as he can to gain that respect. So Loma doesn't be like, all right, I can pressure him right now. It ain't going to hurt that bad. Right? He needs to gain that respect early. By doing so, I'm not saying this is going to be a brawl. I would be very surprised if it becomes a brawl. I'm saying this is going to be the most tactical fight you're going to see. It's not going to be a Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis, right?
No.
I'd be surprised if it was.
It's gonna be, well, I think you're absolutely correct in that Haney is gonna be much more active in the early rounds to take advantage of Loma's downloading stage.
Yeah,
I
and
don't think he's gonna pull a Ryan Garcia or a Teofimo though, where they're just reckless. Haney is very smart.
I don't
He's very
think.
tactical.
Likewise, I don't think Loma is going to allow Haney to take 7 rounds off him. All right.
No.
I
They know this. They prepare for this.
Likewise, I do not. I absolutely will not entertain any conversation from you or Lomachenko about, hey, my shoulder got messed up in training camp. I do not want to hear that. Likewise, I'm also putting that on Haney. If Haney says I got injured in training camp, this, that, and the third, I'm not going to listen to it, right? Mano y mano, best person wins. I have it for Haney winning by a decision, right? Even though
unanimous.
This is the thing. This is Haney's last fight on ESPN, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying ESPN is like PBC, right? Mm-hmm. But this is boxing. Haney is no longer going to fight for Top Rank in the foreseeable future because this is his last fight under their contract. And there hasn't been discussions or anything I saw that Haney's going to re-sign with Top Rank, right? Mm-hmm. And I know Bob Arum, he wants to keep the belts on his side of the aisle in Top Rank. I'm not saying they're going to be fishy business here, but Haney has to definitively stomp that win, right? He can't be like, oh, that's very close. Because if it's like very close rounds, knowing who's promoting the fight and knowing which fighter is going to stay with ESPN and knowing the business of boxing, those really close rounds might go to Loma based on, Haney no longer being a part of Top Rank. And it's weird because this is weird. I haven't seen that much promotion for this fight. When I say promotion, I'm talking about like in terms of like social media posts and, news networks, sporting news networks. Because when Ryan Garcia was fighting Tank Davis, ESPN First Take, a sports station on ESPN with Stephen A. Smith, who primarily talks about football and basketball, had boxers come on. Mm-hmm. Right. I haven't seen that about with this. Right. I haven't seen much of a buzz in the media for this. So it's kind of weird to me.
So weird to me. It's like either A, like they literally wanted zero media, or not zero, but like very minimal media attention so that they can focus, or like they just really didn't sell this fight.
It's weird because this is the first time that I believe Haney is going to be on pay-per-view.
Wow.
So as well as I think Loma, because Loma's been fighting on free, because his Teofimo fight was on free, and the Teofimo fight had more media coverage than this one.
Yeah, like they were building it up. They were talking about like, oh, what do you do with your dad? Oh, I go fishing with my dad. Or I talk ish with my dad. Talk about Teofimo. Like talk ish with my dad. Dog.
Yeah, this one's
there was zero.
Yeah, this
zero,
one's
zero.
Yeah, this one's weird to me because like I've seen practically almost nothing from ESPN. I mean, very little, right? Most of the promotion for the fights have been coming from boxing channels, right? Us, right? Like the secondhand media, I like to call us. And it's weird to me because I have Haney winning, and so has a few other channels and a few other people. But in terms of this, it's strange to me that ESPN Top Rank isn't promoting it like they did with the Teofimo fight. Even crazier, I don't know why, but they were promoting Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis, which is on a different platform and network. You know.
Oh my, yeah.
So
I think that got like way more coverage than this. Like why did they throw this to
I
the
I,
side? This is like the most technically advanced,
I
or
think
like
again,
this why?
I'm not saying this as a fact. I'm saying this as a part of like a conspiracy. Or I want to say this as a my way of trying to guess why, right? Say for example, Haney wins against
Okay.
Loma. And Haney goes to, let's say, the Zone, right? That's what his previous network. And the next big fight is Haney versus Shakur. They're going to use the numbers in this low pay-per-view and say, look, Haney's not a pay-per-view draw because of the low numbers he got when he went pay-per-view. They'll be like, so that means Shakur needs to get the big line share of the deal because he's a bigger star compared to Haney. Likewise, if Loma wins, it's a win for them because they have the belts, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're trying their best to be able to ensure that ESPN Top Rank gets on top and has a win in this fight in some way, right? If Haney loses and Loma wins, well, no one's gonna really care because guess what? Loma has all the belts and Loma's a part of Top Rank, and they can promote Loma however they want because Loma's pretty loyal to Top Rank and Bob Arum. And you know what? Loma can fight Shakur Stevenson, and it's in-house. They don't have to worry about making a deal with another promotional company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if Haney wins and he leaves, they'll be like, well, we have something that shows that Haney's not really a big pay-per-view draw because of the poor numbers he showed. So if Haney wants to fight someone on Top Rank, they're just going to be like, you have poor pay-per-view draws. You're not a big star, yada, 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 yada.
Damn.
You know, they're trying to figure out how to make sure that Top Rank inevitably wins overall, right? But it is what I'm not saying that's true, but that's if I was, you know, an a-hole, I would probably do that.
Like in the end of the day, it's all what's gonna happen in the ring will determine the outcome.
Yeah.
And we just told you the potential two outcomes that could happen. So
Either Loma's gonna win by decision, or
yeah,
Haney's gonna win by decision.
let's just throw a bone out there. Loma wins by
You know, knockout,
round 6 knockout. Let's just
body
throw something
or
out
body or head shot.
there. Body liver shot. Cause let's
Oh,
cause Haney is what, orthodox, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely straight left body. Just
Oh, same
TKO.
thing he did with Linares.
Yeah, with Linares, like you just happened to be open for that one tiny instance, and then just
Me, I want to say TKO, 9th round.
oh
Loma's eye is swollen shut. Doctor stops.
oh that would have been that. I mean, I could see that happening if Haney is consistent.
Oh,
I
hey,
think.
like look at Camboso's face after that second fight,
Well,
dog.
Bosos didn't have like his hands up for like a lot of it.
All right,
So of
but
course he's gonna get like hit.
yeah. So I'm saying right. I'm guessing it's still gonna be a very tactical fight.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be so psyched because we're gonna be right there. We don't have anyone in front of us, right? So we're gonna be in it. But
Oh man.
most importantly, guys, if you do see us, which I'm guessing none of you know how we look like or who we are, come and say hi. But
If you recognize us by our voices, which is I highly doubt, that'd be nuts.
yeah. But let us know what you guys think actually on who's gonna win. Will it be Vasily Lomachenko? Will he win by unanimous decision, split decision, or knockout? Or do you think Devin Haney's gonna win by TKO, split decision, or unanimous decision. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section below.